Should you get the Moby Wrap? That is a question. If you are expecting mama, maybe it's your first baby, maybe it's subsequent children, and you are debating on a wrap, let me just tell you about some of the pros, cons, and my thoughts in general. I specifically own the Moby Wrap. So this is one I have, a nice dark gray. I really like the color. I didn't want to go with black because I felt like every little bit of spit up or drool would show on it really poorly. And I also didn't want to go with too light of a color for the same reason of spit ups, stains, possibly a blowout, things like that actually like stain it, versus it washes out pretty well on this as far as like nothing's really going to show on this color. So like I said, this one is the Moby specifically. So my first question's for you. Are you going to wear the wrap? If this is your first baby, you truly don't know. And so that makes it a really hard decision to make. What kind of lifestyle do you have? Are you going to be a stay-at-home mom, or are you going to be working? If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're with your baby all day long, I do think it helps to have various resources as far as like places and things to put your baby in or change it up or just mix up your day in general. If you're a working mom and you're only going to be with baby mornings, evenings, and then on the weekends, you might not. Now, you still could enjoy baby wearing 100%, but you might find yourself often using the stroller on the weekends or in the evening, just honestly, you and your husband going back and forth, holding the baby and enjoying them and playing with them. I recommend it even more so for stay-at-home moms, but a working mom can definitely find use out of it too. If this is your first child, the wrap is great. It's a great way to bond and cuddle with baby. If you have multiple children, the wrap can be an even better resource because it's a way to hold the newborn or hold the little baby while still helping care for the other children and getting things done in your home, of course, as well. I don't want to say makes it hands-free holding the baby, because you do need to still make sure that you have a hand available to support them as necessary. You know, if you're bending down to help a toddler, you need a hand on their head. You do want to be safe with the wrap. That's always going to be our priority. So my personal experience of where I wore the wrap the most. I wore it at home a lot when I was home all day and I just needed to change it up, or my arms were tired of holding baby, or I was tired of sitting with baby and I felt like I needed to walk around and do things. Making a meal, maybe emptying the dishwasher. It was a little challenging bending down, but you could make it work. Folding laundry, things like that. I use the wrap specifically. I remember using it for going grocery shopping because I didn't want to leave them in the infant, like bucket seat as they call it, and put that in the shopping cart. I felt like that took up my entire shopping cart. I didn't want to take a stroller in. I'm not into that at the grocery store. I want my shopping cart. So I felt like the best option for that was the Moby Wrap until they were strong enough to truly sit properly in the cart, like in the front, buckled in. I wore them in the wrap a lot. That was my way of getting it done and most efficiently getting it done. So that was a big place for me. Another great time is walks. Just going for a simple walk in your neighborhood. You may want to wear them rather than have them in the stroller. Again, more bonding and attachment. Church is a great place to wear the Moby Wrap. That way that, again, baby's connected to you. They're ideally calm and happy. And then church, as well as other large events or places where there's a lot of people, and you may intentionally not want to pass your baby around, a wrap is a good excuse because you're like, oh, they're comfy in the wrap. And I think a lot of people aren't going to walk up to you and go, can I hold your baby if they're in the wrap? It seems very inconvenient to get the baby out. So the wrap can be a great way to say, hey, baby's staying with mama. So you can kind of prepare in advance for those situations. Now, some of the like price, value, pro cons on owning the item itself, they're not overly expensive. I would say somewhere around the $50 price point. I would say as low as 30s. Depending on the brand specifically you go with, it could go as high as 60s, 70s. Just going to depend on which version and brand specifically you go with. You definitely want to get one that is a reputable brand because this material, it needs to be stretchy, but it also needs to be strong and it needs to do the job. So I would factor in reputation and look at reviews. Getting your money's worth out of it's going to depend on how much you use it in general. You know, I believe if an item is super expensive, I want to get a lot of use out of it. The more affordable an item is, the less use I'm worried about getting out of it. Another really awesome thing about this is if you look at it, I could have rolled it up a little tighter than this. You could roll it up, very easily fit in the diaper bag. Okay, it's almost like a little tiny towel. So this item is easy to store at home, but it's also easy to take with you. You could leave it in your car. You could leave it in the diaper bag. It's not taking up a big footprint in your home. This isn't like a baby swing. You know what I mean? I never had a swing, but this is so small, it's so minimal, and it also allows that bonding and comfort of baby. So it's a win-win as far as those reasons. Like I've touched on comfort and bonding a few different times, and it is important that we hold our babies. We can't put them down all the time. We can't expect them to self-soothe and take care of themselves. They need our love. They want to feel our body heat. They want to hear our heartbeat. And the wrap is a great way to achieve that while still somewhat having your sanity as far as feeling like you can get things done around the house. You can move about. You can have hands free. You could sit and maybe read a book while baby is in the wrap, safely snuggled, but you're still getting to pour into yourself a little bit. So I think the wrap can help you find a little bit of balance. It also can be a great tool for moms as far as like bonding, in the sense of we also need to touch our babies. You don't always want to be putting your baby down and passing them off to other people. We need to spend time with them and we need to form that bond. So the Moby Wrap can help facilitate that as well. Now, a couple negatives or things to at least consider before you decide you want to buy the wrap. The first would just be a general lack of confidence in how to wrap it yourself and basically not learning how to use it safely. There's the basic standard wrap. That's what I used the whole time. I did not get complicated with it. I did not try and test out other ways of tying it or wrapping baby. I kept it very, very simple and very, very minimal. I am not a wrap expert. I will definitely not claim to be. So find other resources if you're looking for some advanced wrapping techniques or strategies. That I'm not the resource for that. Personally, as a general item, I will say I did not like to breastfeed with it on. I know some people will have the wrap on, take baby out, kind of like move it aside and breastfeed. I get claustrophobic and found that very constricting. So I would fully remove the wrap whenever I breastfed. And with a little baby, breastfeeding happens pretty frequently. So therefore, every time I wanted to use the wrap or wear the wrap, I had to retie it. I had to re-put it on, which one could look at as an inconvenience. Say like a buckle carrier, those you're not having to reset them all the time. They're like ready to go and they know your body size because you already have them fitted to you. And it's like clip, clip, go, go. But I had to redo it every time. It caused that little bit of friction of like, ugh, do I want to do the wrap? Do I not? Those are pretty much my only cons or negatives to using it. Is truly just like having the mindset of, do I want to put the wrap on? And some days it was worth it and some days it was not. Now, a couple quick tips I would say with the wrap. Practice at home and practice in front of a mirror. So at home, you have a place to put your baby. They can be on the floor, on the couch with you there beside them, on a bed, and you're practicing tying this wrap. Baby is safe. If baby's fussing a little, you're not embarrassed. You're at home. Or you can quit. You can stop tying it and you can comfort them and try again later. You could try putting it on while they're sleeping. Practice at home, and then practice in front of a mirror as far as tying it, but then also putting your baby in the wrap. Once it's on you, practice in front of a mirror. You can see their legs. You can see what's going on. Start doing it not in front of a mirror. So say go in a bedroom, put them in the wrap, and then say go in a bathroom, look in the mirror, and see how you did. See if their foot placement, their hand placement, their head placement, if everything looks good, because you want to practice this that way that you are comfortable doing it in public. Another tip with wearing it in public. So like I said, I always wore the wrap when I went grocery shopping. I loved it for grocery shopping. But what I would do is specifically, I would leave the house to go grocery shopping. Therefore, I knew I was going to do it at home. I would put the wrap on my body. I would have it the right size, tied up, ready to go. Baby would then go in the car seat. We would ride to the grocery store. And then once I got there, I was ready to go. So I'd walk over to their door, unbuckle them out of their car seat, put them in the wrap, and away we went. This was so much easier than, again, the stress of putting this on in a parking lot where cars are pulling in and out. You might have a really tight spot or somebody beside you is trying to leave. Also, the Moby Wrap is long. It is long. I hate to do this, but I'm just going to show you. So this is one end of the wrap. That's the other end. So there is a lot of material here. So it's going to be hitting the parking lot as you're trying to put it on in public. So highly, highly recommend, if you know you're going to put baby in it immediately upon arrival somewhere. This could be grocery store, it could be church, it could be an event, like say a baby shower, or even going to a restaurant. Wherever you're going to go, if you know baby's 100% going in it, wrap it up at home. Wrap it on you at home. And finally, my last tip or thing to mention is, of course, safety. Again, I am not a wrap expert, so I don't want to go too far into this, but I do know some basics of you want baby up high. You want them kissable, meaning their head is very close to you. You want to physically be able to see their nose, make sure they are breathing, make sure they're not too squished in there. Baby's got to breathe. Don't just assume they're going to be fine. They're not fine unless you make them be fine. General rules about like their hip placement. A lot of times you're going to see that it needs to be the letter M. Do not let their legs dangle straight down. That's hard on the hips. Again, not an expert. Please do your research and prioritize your baby's safety. With any baby gear, whether it's a swing, a car seat, a wrap, these things don't work right and they don't work effectively unless we use them safely. So please take the time, this is your baby, take the time to learn how to wrap properly, safely, and effectively. Do I recommend the Moby Wrap? Yes, I do. I think for the cost, it is worth it. I think it is important to make sure you educate yourself so you're not afraid to use it, and so you will put it to frequent use and get your money's worth out. So these are my reasons why the wrap is right for you. If you are already a wrap using mama, comment down below why you use the wrap, when you use the wrap, and how you best use it. I will link the Moby Wrap specifically in the description because that is what I'm familiar with and I had a good experience with it. I hope you found this video helpful in choosing your baby gear, and good luck with it. If you like content like this, please subscribe to my channel and come back for the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.